That's great.
I don't think the camera's on. Is the guy in there?
Real good.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting for March 23rd, 2015, 7 p.m. And I just wanted to let everyone know that their meeting's being recorded and transmitted via cable television. And thanks to everyone that's present here tonight. It's a nice crowd in the room, so thank you for that. And if you'd please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First order of business is a request by Finance Committee, Fields Committee member for exemption under Mass General Law, Chapter 268A, Section 20B. And I believe this has to do with the Recreation Commission. And it's for photography, I believe, right, Jim?
Yeah, he's going to do some pictures for the Recreation Commission. He's currently a member of the Finance Committee, so he has to file a disclosure with the board. You have to make a determination that you don't think that there's a conflict that rises to anything material.
And this is for Mr. Priestley, and this is the third year we've done this for him, so
Correct.
it's nothing new to us. So, looking over the information, I see no problem with it.
No, it lists that he's going to provide photography and disc jockey services for the upcoming father-daughter dance
Right.
sponsored by the Rec Commission. And he's done this before, we've approved this before, so I have no issues and no problem with this. Bob?
Bob and his wife have done an outstanding job with the Recreation Commission with this father-daughter dance. He's provided the entertainment for many years. I think it's got to be well over 10 years now he's been doing this, and they really have done a phenomenal job. So he really deserves to continue doing that, him and his wife. He brings an awful lot of experience to the table when it comes to performing that. And going through this, I don't know how that could cause any kind of a conflict with sitting on FinCom or on the Fields Committee. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the municipal employee request.
I'll second that.
So it has been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye?
Aye. Okay.
The chairman needs to sign this second to last line.
There you go. Okay, next, appointment of and charge of the Library Building Committee. So Nancy Ryan's here, Director of the Lynnfield Library, so welcome, Nancy. And your Board of Trustees, I see.
Almost all of them, all 4 out of 5 are here.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity to present the charge to the Lynnfield Library Building Committee and to appoint the members. The Lynnfield Public Library was awarded a planning and design grant in June 2014 that will fund the hiring and selection of an owner's project manager and an architect. In order to move this building project from the planning and schematic design phase through design development and post-construction, we created the Lynnfield Library Building Committee. It is comprised of community leaders, staff, local officials, and others with skills that will contribute to the project's success. Candidates for the committee are as follows. Finance Committee, Chris Mattia. Community representatives are Russ Bokenkroger, Steve Tedisco, Ted Caswell, and Chris Barrett. I will serve in an ex officio capacity. Committee will be assisted by liaisons who are appointed by the Board of Selectmen as follows. Board of Selectmen, 1 liaison to be determined. Board of Appeals, 1 liaison, Brian Schaefer. And Planning Board, 1 liaison, Heather Sievers. Russ Bokenkroger has generously agreed to serve as chair. The Board of Trustees reviewed these names at their March 3rd, 2014 regular meeting, but did not formally approve them. I have been assured of their support and approval of these members' names. The final committee members will be approved at their April 7th, 2015 meeting. So I ask the Board of Selectmen to approve the candidates above to serve as members of the Lynnfield Library Building Committee. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Nancy.
Now, accompanying that is a draft of the charge.
Right.
Is it necessary for me to read that through?
I mean, I don't,
It's up to you.
Could you just give a general overview?
yeah, more of an overview might be better, just,
Obviously, this committee is going to work as a team with the library director, any other staff that participate. They're going to work with the designer, the OPM, any other consultants that are hired as a result of this through the life of the building project would be post-construction. When appointed, the Board of Selectmen will also appoint the chair, and they'll be sworn in by the town clerk. The responsibilities are to review, revise the building program, negotiate and contract with the owner's project manager and architect, complete the design development, negotiate and contract with the general contractors. So basically, they're going to negotiate and go out to bid for all of the contracts. They'll also monitor the construction project. They will complete the landscaping design as well as all of the colors, finishes, furnitures, etc. They'll also report and make recommendations to you, the Board of Selectmen, as well as the trustees. And in post-construction, they will accept the building and secure the certificate of occupancy, final payments, close out projects, receive as-built drawings and operating manuals.
now back to the committee, Nancy, once they have a chairperson at their first meeting, then they'll set up their officers and stuff like that.
Correct.
And they will operate under the open meeting law requirements, correct?
That's correct.
Can you explain a little bit about the process that you went through in these applicants applying for these positions?
What we did is I started working on a list months ago about people who would be interested in contributing in some way to the building process. So I spoke to staff. I think I spoke to Phil Crawford. I spoke to a number of other patrons. Anybody that could give me some information about some of the town people who would be interested in working on this. So probably came up with about 15 names, and as you know, it's difficult to get people to help because they're so busy. So it took a few months to get this list together. And then what I basically did is I wrote them a letter or called them and asked if they would serve.
So that there was no advertisement in the newspaper for anybody who might be interested?
No, I did not advertise.
So
It was
strictly
all
done by word of mouth?
Word of mouth, yeah.
Okay. So you reviewed everybody's resume to make sure that the organized committee that you're presenting can work together, bring specific technical background to help this committee move forward in a proficient manner?
Yes, I did review their background. I did not necessarily see a resume, but I did review their background. Also, I'm familiar with their work. I've worked with a number of these men, and women, and I'm aware of their level of expertise and their talents.
Okay. And right now, they're candidates. They never had this position before, right? This is
Correct.
being created now?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I think that the Board of Library Trustees and the library, I mean, to me, I think you've put a lot of effort into this. I think it's a good charge that you have. And I think that the people that you have on your committee proposal, I see nothing wrong with that myself. So somewhere along the line, though, you will stay very closely involved. And Ted Caswell is one of your people. I know that. So that takes care of the capital facilities group. But also, our town administrator will be involved.
Yes.
I'm sure he'll be in the loop, although his name's not on here. So, so I have no problem with it myself.
Well, I would like to first thank the town's volunteers for working on this. Russ, thank you for volunteering to be the chair. And sometimes that's a challenge to get somebody to volunteer to do that. Sometimes the person that doesn't show up at the first meeting becomes the chair. But you got some very good people here, got good backgrounds. Nancy and I had many conversations over this, and we had. I think we had a lot more than 15 people in their first first go around of who we might want to talk to. But I think you did a great job putting this together, and I just want to thank everybody for volunteering. And this step of the process is just one small bit, but it's a very important part of moving this project forward. So thank you, and I really look forward to working with it. So. With that, I'd like to make a motion to accept the members as presented for the Library Building Committee.
And the charge too, I guess.
Well, I think we accept the charge second. We'll do that on the second one.
I'll second that motion.
Moved and seconded for the members. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'd also like to make a motion to approve the mission and charge that's been presented tonight.
I'll second that motion.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Nancy, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you.
No, not everybody should leave at
Room is.
once.
Now everybody can move up to the front row.
Yes.
Okay, presentation of the capital budget. Mr. Jim.
You'll find in your packet, at the end of the budget packet, the FY16 capital recommendation. Two quick corrections on the first page on the police department where it says cruisers 2. That should be cruisers 1. And on the second page, under South School COA, it says school administration 50,000. That should be COA 50,000. And that's the removal of the wall and the installation of the wall in the Council on Aging when they get that new room that they're going to get. So that's just a miss. None of the numbers are changing, those two. The capital budget, I received $2,783,844 worth of capital requests. What you see in front of you is a recommendation for $1,276,060, which is double last year's capital budget. We're trying to knock off a lot of things that haven't been addressed in a lot of years. The big recommendations, the two biggest ones are in the school department. They're technology, which is $250,000, which I understand is an annual appropriation, and their security at $225,000 to put security in all the schools. The other one is the central administration renovations, moving them up the street. I don't know if you guys want me to go through these one at a time or.
Yeah.
Nancy's left $5,000 for the library furniture. In the police department, portable radios, $27,500, tasers, $6,600, rifles, $4,000, computers, $3,600, tough books, which are the laptops on the cruisers, $6,000, audio video recorder, $4,500, and a single cruiser at $38,760. The fire department, $10,000 for hose replacement, $10,000 for PPE replacement, $10,000 to complete their extraction tools, and $5,000 for pages, radios, and IT. The Historic Commission, $3,500 for their landmark signs, which is a portion of what they asked for. Public Works and the Highway Department, $72,000. That's 2 new trucks, I believe, Andrew, 2 1-tons. $100,000 that he requested to work on some of the drainage issues around town. $10,000 for mowers and parks and playgrounds. $3,000 for saws in the tree department. $50,000 for site restoration under recycling. This is to comply with the order of conditions from the Conservation Commission on getting the recycling yard out back to meet requirements. The DPW administration, software for the AutoCAD is $6,000. GIS is $7,000. The gas system filler box is $6,500. Copy machine lease at $3,800. And Phase 2 stormwater compliance at $15,000, which is a federal requirement. In the town hall complex, $15,000 to replace the door, pass point, all the key fobs. That is an outdated system. For the library, $15,000 to engineer the new septic system, $15,000 to repair the boiler coil. South Hall, South Fire, $70,000 for the roof, $7,500 to replace the concrete pad. At the Council on Aging, $50,000 for the building. Again, that is they're getting all a portion of a room from the school department. We'll take out a wall and we'll put a movable wall in that, divide that space up. $10,000 to replace the kitchen hood. The DPW, $13,000 for a chain lift, $45,000 for a vehicle lift. School buildings, $35,000 for high school cafeteria air conditioning. $2,800 for school buses, $15,000 for Pillings Pond, for a total of $1,276,060. Again, this is a pretty ambitious capital this year, trying to take advantage of that increase in the new growth from last year and knock off a lot of these things that have been on the list for a long, long time.
A lot of these have been on the list for a long, long time. Under DPW, Andrew, the vehicle lift is hydraulic. Is that going to be a hydraulic lift?
Yeah, there's a couple different options that are out there that we're looking at, whether they're post lifts but they're mobile roller lifts. It's based on the.
So it's not one of these hydraulics, up and down, that's,
Well, it is like that, but it's not a hydraulic system that.
okay.
Like you would see in built into a garage, because we don't have that. That's a much larger system.
Right.
Is that lift for the buses or trucks?
Be for any of the vehicles. We're looking whether it would be able to handle the capacity of an actual bus or not.
Is the new DPW garage gonna have a bay that's gonna easily fit a new bus in there?
No.
Okay. On the cafeteria AC, is that replacing the existing AC that's failing?
I don't believe there's any AC in the cafeteria now at the high school, is there, Andrew?
Correct.
There is no AC.
So there's no AC, so this is new?
Right.
Okay,
This
great.
is brand new.
I'm just curious if some system we put in 10 years ago is already failing.
No, I don't believe it was ever put in.
Okay. That's new.
So I can't help but asking, is one new cruiser adequate? As I parked the car, I couldn't help but notice that wonderful police truck out there with the tire nearly off the rim.
Well, I thought it was until the chief sent me an email the other day that they wrecked that other cruiser, so, you could probably make the argument for the second cruiser, but I have to figure out where the $40,000 was gonna come from, or whether we'd take it from some other capital in here.
Because through our initial discussion, wasn't it originally, initially it was two cruisers,
There was
right?
initially two cruisers, but I had the number wrong on what those two cruisers were gonna cost. So, it takes some moving around, finding $40,000 for another cruiser.
Is the cruiser that's got an issue, was that in an accident?
It was in an accident late last week. It was the sergeant's Tahoe. It's parked outside. You can see it.
Yeah.
Go out. He was coming down Walnut Street in the area of Market Street. Vehicle was coming off the ramp, went through a red light, struck the sergeant. Fortunately, we had an officer who was conducting traffic enforcement there and witnessed the whole thing.
Mhm.
He cited the operator.
So do we have some insurance proceeds that are gonna be realized on that?
You'll have to see, the axle is bent.
Yeah.
Mm.
The vehicle was nearing, it's actually got 100,000 miles on it, so we were gonna try to squeeze one more year out of it.
Mhm.
We felt as though we could do that, and perhaps then maybe keep it as a backup cruiser for the winter storm times or details. Now we're gonna have to see what the extent of the damage is. It's a four-wheel drive vehicle, so the damage to it's going to be significant.
Yeah, if the undercarriage is bent, they'll total it.
And it's just a complete coincidence that it's parked right outside.
Yeah, yeah,
Select
just happens to be there.
It's just that,
It's all about the where you display things. Was the sergeant hurt? No, nobody was hurt, thankfully. But no, we actually, just to get out of the way, they put it over there last Friday. The record company was gonna put it in front of one of our doors, and they asked them to move it elsewhere.
I mean, we can revisit it after we find out what kind of settlement.
and we can see if we can, move some money around, or you do have this special, the town meeting in October. If we had to buy another cruiser and we had the funds, we could do it then.
Okay.
You might have more information about any settlement, but I don't know what that would be,
Yeah.
by October.
Well, in going through the budget, there might be some items there that could be re-examined. I made a few quick notes. For example, town council's budget's going up $31,000. Do we need to do that?
Well, we talked about that at the last meeting. We're already through our town council budget of $40,000. Our budget's been up, we've been over the 40,000, I think, the last 3 years. So it definitely needs to be increased because we're hitting close to that number anyways. So we can either transfer money when we come back, or we can continue to underfund it, but we're at $40,000 already for this year.
For this year?
Yeah.
I think it's beneficial to keep town council's money, or just leave it alone. I wouldn't take any from it.
What about some of the accounts that we historically don't use? Like the track money. There's some funds in our budget to repair the track at the middle school. And since that area is gonna be reconstructed at some point, and
that in-
there hasn't been repairs on that track in many years, that why allocate those funds if we can reallocate them to something that we really do need to spend the money on?
Is that in your budget?
I'm not so sure what we're talking about.
The track repair?
Middle school.
What kind of funds do we have set aside for that? Do we know, Tom?
Yeah.
Is that something DPW submitted?
No, this has been there for a while.
It's under school building maintenance for $9,000. And there was usually money in the school budget and
For fiscal
DPW's
16.
budget.
My DPW
And
budget.
I only saw the one under school
breakdown.
building maintenance. And I'd have to go through the entire budget again to see if there's anything else.
You're referring to the line item within the operating budget?
Correct. It's not in this working budget. It's in the more detailed budget, every line item.
Is that an amount, what'd you say the amount was, 9,000?
9,000.
Yeah, 9,000 must be just for repairs to the existing track, because that track's gonna be left in place for the next 1 or 2 seasons before it gets torn up. That'd be phase 3 of the Fields project, which will be another year, at least another year away. So they're gonna have to go through 2 more seasons with that track, so I would,
They might need the
they're
number.
gonna need that money to repair that track. It's in tough shape, and I'm sure after this winter, it's not gonna look any better.
Just cleaned it off.
A few other items that I was looking at was in information technology. We spent $4,000, but we're budgeting $18,000.
For next year,
Correct.
I talked to Joe Piazza before he left. Most of that money is increases in software costs and licensing fees.
So it's definitely gonna go to 18,000?
That was the number he gave me, yes.
How did we leave off with the Conservation Committee? I know that there was some question about pay raises down with the Concom with Betty Adelson.
Yeah, there's money in the budget for those, but we haven't settled on the raises yet.
Okay.
So if she gets less than what's in there, that'll just revert back. We can transfer that at the end of the year. But I did budget for it, so it'll be in there. I'm just waiting now for them to finish her evaluation, and then I'll make a recommendation. But I budgeted for the raises, so they'd be in there, and then anything less than that would come back, or we could transfer out.
Did Betty Adelson give you any comparisons with any other towns around that
Yep.
are similarly situated?
Yep, I have some if you want to see those, yeah.
Okay, if you could share that,
Yep.
that would be great. Then I couldn't help but noticing that we're buying loom.
And
After
the-
disposing of all that loom at the high school, we're buying loom. I thought we were gonna save some for some reserve for future work around town.
Andrew, you know?
It's my understanding, and I probably need a little more information on it, the loom you're referring to is from the Fields project?
Right.
Due to some contamination issues with that loom, it had to be located in certain areas that had similar soils, which is not typically the case. The loom we purchase is usually for road edges, the parks and those areas, so we would not typically use that loom coming off those fields.
So all the loom down at the high school was all contaminated?
That was my understanding. Clearly, that was obviously before me, so.
I think there was a chart that Arthur presented when he came in here with specific areas that were contaminated.
I'm unaware of that. I just, as far as I've heard, there was high nickel content that had to be used in certain areas, and it wasn't something we would be able to use throughout the town.
Well, that's correct, but it was just what was left on site
Right.
was the nickel-laden soils. Under the Similar Soil Act, you have to use it on the same site or within town that has the same soils. The rest of the loam that was taken away was not, didn't have the same levels of nickel, but at the time, there wasn't any request for that loam within the town.
Yeah, I mean, again, that was before me, Tom, but we had the same issue on the Fields project in Norwell. And we did the math. First of all, we didn't have any place to store it. Second of all, by the time you paid to truck it to the storage, had it screened, and trucked it back to where you were gonna use it, it was about the same cost of just going and buying new loam. So it wasn't really cost effective to keep it if you didn't have a real good place to store it and have your own sorting machine to get rid of all the stones and sift it.
Okay. And one last question. The security that we're going to be paying for the $225,000 for the school department, that's going to cover what, the perimeter of all of the schools in the fields?
As I understand, it's inside, exterior, and interior, and it combines both. We'll have cameras on the fields, but it's interior and exterior. It's a combination of both.
Okay, great. And then what is it, the staff that works in the office will all be like watching that out of the side of their eye or something?
They'll have access to it. The big thing is that the police department will have access to that anytime there's an incident or they need it, so they'll be able to do it.
Plus, it's similar to the middle school. They can sit there and look at the different screens.
Right.
It's web-based, so we'll
Right.
have access to the station.
Okay.
Yeah, but it'll cover all the doors, all the exits, and then there will be some on the fields also on the outside.
Okay, great. The drainage, is that going to be enough to deal with the drainage issues over here with Reedy Meadow along Perry Ave? Then the drainage issue over on Canterbury Lane and on Madison?
Is it, what we're referring to the capital?
100,000 in the capital.
Right.
We have a host of locations, those included. I don't believe it'll be enough to cover all of them. We're gonna have to kind of look at which ones we wanna prioritize and address them. Obviously, Ledge Road and a couple of those others have come to the top of the list, so we'll be trying to vet which ones we can actually get something done on as compared to just.
So Andrew, can we legally do anything with the Perry Ave issue? Is that other property that we're not to be involved in?
There is some issues with the Perry Ave issue on who owns the property and where the actual flooding problems come from.
Right.
That'd be a piece of it that we would have to look into.
But is it, what's most important to me, and I think a lot of the people, would be having some course of action so that maybe Jim can work some magic with other state officials to accomplish the goal of solving the problem. So my question to you is, at some point, will you have the knowledge as to what has to be done to remedy the situation?
So the intent would be to identify some of those locations, bring a engineer in to look at those locations and identify what course of action we have in certain areas to get something done. That's really the focus of that
Okay,
funding.
great, thank you.
Sure.
Andrew, do we have a timeline for looking at the Ledge Road issue?
Well, we can't do anything until
We got to look at after January 1st, after July 1st?
July
Oh, you're going to
1st.
wait, you're going to be working on that when the snow melts?
As of right now, all we do is we just check and make sure there's no obstructions up there to prevent, hopefully, any flooding issues.
Mhm.
There's really not much we can do until we can get an engineer in to look at the whole hydraulic system, and that's hopefully what that $100,000 would be a piece of.
Okay, so we wouldn't expect to get any real good look at it until after the
Correct,
fiscal year starts? Okay,
correct.
thank you.
Is any of that in the field of Charles Richter? I mean, he's a PE, so what's his field of expertise?
He definitely has some expertise in there. There's, I think, just a little more to bite off than we can handle in-house,
Mhm.
particularly with the large amount of road work we're looking at this year. Chapter 90 funding has been bumped significantly. Town has also bumped road funding also. So we're gonna be quite involved, he'll be quite involved in that also, so I don't think we'll be able to get all of it accomplished. So the intent was to have a drainage expert look at that and kind of give us some guidance.
Great. Thank you.
So did we resolve the second cruiser issue?
There's only one on
Bring that
the,
up.
there's only one on the budget right now. You know, again, between now and Wednesday, I could try to find $40,000 in my back pocket. Otherwise, it would be
Wait till October.
it'd be an October replacement, yeah.
What's the turnaround time to get one of those outfitted?
It's a lot more when you buy it in July because everybody's buying them in July. So buying it in October might be a shorter turnaround, but it's at least 90 days, isn't it, usually?
Quite a long time for it to get,
About a 3-month turnaround?
I'd
Okay.
say, by the time you make the purchase, it goes up to Adamson to get outfitted, it's probably 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, depending on what you're buying and who else is buying them.
Okay. Well, I think it'd be prudent to take a look at it between now and Wednesday and see what might be able to do with that, because it's obvious that something's gonna be needed.
I did offer him, Norwell has a 2003 Volkswagen Bug that has police lights on it, but
Does that work for you, chief?
he didn't.
My response to him was, if it's gonna be a German car, BMW or a Porsche,
I thought maybe it'd be a nice Chiefs vehicle, but
Yeah. You'll take a Mercedes if it's gonna be German, that's
I did get back to him, reminded that Volkswagen owns Porsche, so it's almost the same car. So we'll see what we can, and we can have a little discussion later on too about someplace to find the money, but
When might we know how the insurance settle might be? Have they looked at it yet?
I don't think they haven't been out yet. They've been notified, right, the insurance company?
yes,
They've been notified, but they haven't sent an adjuster out yet.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay.
I have no other questions on capital.
I have no other questions.
I have no other questions.
So we should take a vote to approve the operating capital budgets.
I'll make a motion to approve the current fiscal year 2016 capital budget as presented.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Just as a caveat, the board would like to see if I can find another cruiser, all right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, see,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Between now and Wednesday.
no pressure.
Sorry, Bob.
Go through the test kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm sure you
Which
can
would bring
find
it up
40,000.
2 cruisers for plus 40K more.
Yep.
Okay. Closing of the annual town meeting warrant.
You still will need a vote. That was only the capital
We
budget.
gotta- we have to
Capital.
vote
You
operating.
vote on the operating budget.
Okay, so we voted on capital. I don't have any more questions about the operating. We ran over that, I don't know how many times, so. I did see that you added 3,500 to the assessors for the,
To get that software bridge for the
GOTMS stuff, yes.
GOTMS, yeah.
That's the software that allowed the assessors to communicate with the inspectional services?
Yeah.
Mhm.
There is one change from the budget that I gave you 2 weeks ago, and that's line 105 on the VOTEC. We had that estimated at $350,000. We got the actual preliminary assessment at $364,937, so that was a change from what you had 2 weeks ago. That is the only change on the FY16 recommended,
And that's all based on enrollment?
based on enrollment, yeah.
Yeah. I have no further questions on this.
The debt, is this all adequate payments in here to cover all of our debt payments?
So the debt that we have right now, yes. Yep. We will be issuing some additional debt at the end of the year. And then when we get the rates on those, we'll have to appropriate money in October, as we did last time for that debt. But for the debt that we currently have on the books, this is adequate.
Should, with the new OPEB accrual coming, with that will be on the fiscal year 16 financial statement, should we be looking at adding a line item for OPEB?
We had the discussion, Tom, as I said, that'll be in the FY17 budget.
17.
There'll be an OPEB line in there, yeah.
Isn't that a requirement as of that budget? To have that in there? I think they made it a requirement.
I have to go back and look. There's still no requirement that you fund your OPEB.
Yeah. You don't have to fund it, but I think if you have it, you have to have it on the.
You're supposed to stop.
Supposed to have
If
the
you want to be a
line.
AAA rated community, you have to start funding your OPEB at some
Right.
level. So we will be adding that as an ongoing budget item for fiscal 17.
Well, that was one of the primary reasons to start the OPEB.
Yeah, start the trust.
Yep.
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 Yeah, we could sit and talk about that all night.
Well, no other questions. I make a motion to approve the fiscal year 16 operating budget.
I'll second that motion since we've already modified the taxes, and we can work with Chief Chitralt in the future with solving some other fire department issues that you brought up before that are, to me, certainly extremely important that we work on that. And I did read the article that you emailed, and it is something that we need to start addressing, but I think we need to maybe have some town input and maybe come before the board again, and we can get more interaction with that. So with all of that, knowing all that, I certainly second this.
So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Closing of annual town meeting warrant. You just need to get a vote to close it.
I make a motion to close the annual town meeting warrant.
Are we discussing what's in the warrant first?
We close it and then we'll discuss the articles.
Yeah, that's, the warrant recommendations is next, so you'd have a discussion on them.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded to close the town meeting warrant. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Warrant is now closed. Warrant article recommendations.
Want to go through them?
Yeah.
Sure.
And they're most of them are straightforward.
Most of them
I
are
think-
standard
I
that
think
you
the budget
see-
is 7 and 8,
You
correct?
see every year, yep. Article
just-
1 is the Acton reports of town offices and special committees. That's the town report. Article 2, to choose all town officers not required to be chosen by ballot. 3 field drivers, 1 pound keeper, and 3 wood measurers. Article 3, fix the compensation of each of the elective officers of the town as required by General Law, Chapter 41, Section 108. Article 4, raise and appropriate, transfer from available funds sums of money to supplement certain accounts in the fiscal 2015 fiscal year where balances are below projected expenditures for various reasons, so that'll be transfers within the departments for this year. Should have that hopefully for the 13th, what all those will be. Obviously, snow and ice, police overtime, looks like could be a problem. The legal is already getting into the red, right off the top, so those are 3. The next one is similar, vote to transfer a sum of money from emergency medical services retained earnings to pay expenses of contractual service required to operate emergency medical service. Again, it looks like the EMS account is probably going to be running over a little bit, so we'll transfer some money from the retained earnings for that. Article 6 is for overdue bills for prior fiscal year. At this point, I don't know if we have any.
He said, I think we might have 1 or 2, but I don't know what they are.
I haven't seen those yet. Now that's a 9/10 vote, by the way, to pay bills from a previous fiscal year.
Right.
Article 7, raise and appropriate, transfer from funds. That's the town budget. And Article 8 would be the town capital. Article 9 is to appropriate money into the town stabilization fund. And Article 10 would be to appropriate money into the capital facilities fund. As part of the budget that was submitted, there's a recommendation for 200 for each one of those, which is one of the places that if we really are looking to get that cruiser, I might take from there, some from there to reduce that by a little bit, but not by much. Pinch that a little bit, but right now the recommendation is 200 into both of those. Article 11, 12, 13, 14 are all reauthorizations of various revolving funds that the town has.
Right.
I don't know if you want to go through those. Senior Center, Recreation, Board of Health, and Library. Those are all standard. Article 15 would be the transfer from the EMS account for fiscal 16. Article 17 would be a transfer from the golf enterprise, golf retained earnings for the operations of the golf course. Again, we'll hopefully have all those numbers for the next meeting. Article 17 is an article to authorize the board to sell the center farm. I know that committee is still meeting, but they wanted to have this on here in case they were ready to do it, to make that. We have the restrictions with the Historic Commission are just about completed. I think they need to just dot a couple of i's and cross a couple of t's. In a nutshell, the restrictions would prevent the subdivision of the property, would prevent the alteration of the exterior of the property, and inside there is a tapestry or a painting in one of the rooms that would also be protected. Aside from that, they'd be able to do what they wanted on the interior. So once they finalize that restriction, we will have a new appraisal done on the property based upon those restrictions, and then that appraisal price becomes the minimum bid that you go back out with. Article 18 was the article submitted by the town clerk for the dog licenses. Article 19 is the scenic road bylaw.
I see they pulled out
They pulled out
the roads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Article 20 is to transfer money from the sale of real estate, $150,000 for architectural and design services for the clubhouse at the King Rail Golf Course. So we'll start that over the summer. Right now, we're just working on getting a temporary facility down there to get it open up, and have some engineering work being done, and then we have to have it graded. We'll put a temporary facility down there to get it open while we design and look to permit a brand-new facility.
This 150 was planned for. It was it was budgeted before.
I don't know if it was budgeted before. There was 90,000 that was appropriated before. That's being expended. Part of that is being expended now for the engineering for the parking lot, and to get us open and to do the grading down there. So this would be for the next step to be added to that. I don't think it's going to take the whole 150, but we don't have a good idea what it would cost to design that building until we actually get down there and see what's going on.
Okay.
Article 21 is a zoning article. This came in this afternoon, so we haven't had a lot of time to go through it. We had a new subsection at the end of section 6 about signs. Standards applicable in all districts. Signs shall neither contain moving elements nor convey the appearance of movement, whether by changing pixelation or any other physical or electronic representation of movement. So that basically, any moving signs would be illegal except time and time and weather, I believe, are allowed under the bylaw. Article 22 is just a further definition of what is a sign. Article 23 are further definitions, really some technical changes to the bylaw. And Article 24 is by adding a new definition in connection with the groundwater protection district, that for the purposes of this section of the bylaw relating to groundwater protection only, an acre shall be considered to be 40,000 square feet, and those are all submitted by the planning board.
So Jim, 21, 22, 23, and 24 were submitted by the planning board.
Correct.
And town council has looked at them.
Town council's
Made
looked
some
at it, made some
changes.
technical changes to them, and they're reflected in here.
And the planning board chair has approved them.
Has approved those changes, yes.
And okay.
I think we can take a group of these at one time. I think some of these are boilerplate standard.
Yeah, we could go like 1 to 6,
1 to 6?
7 and 8.
Yep.
I mean, I don't see anything that I would not want to see go forward, so.
Yeah. Well, we're making our formal recommendation tonight.
I believe that's,
Right.
yep.
So I, at least on the first page, I'd move that we recommend Articles 1 through 8.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
All right?
Aye.
On the second page, I move that we recommend Articles 9 through 14.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
All right?
Aye.
On the third page, I recommend, I move that we recommend Articles 15 through 18.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Article 19.
We're recommending.
Recommend Article 19.
Right.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Now, on the following one, I recommend we approve Article 20. I mean, I move that we recommend Article 20.
What do you think, Jim, that could possibly come in at? How much less than 150?
It's hard to say until we kind of get a ballpark of what we want to do down there, how big. And that's kind of still under discussion, how big the structure is going to be, and then how much fill we're going to have to bring in. But normally, a rule of thumb is design costs are about 10% of the total cost. So I don't think the facility's going to cost $1.5 million. So I think that's why I think it's high. I think it'll probably be closer to $1 million for the final facility. So I'd say probably it'll come in around 100 and change, depending upon what they need to hire for engineers, depending on the site down there.
Well, could we reduce that to 125?
You could. I wouldn't want to, just in case we needed it, because then I'd have to delay the whole project and come back for an additional appropriation.
Okay,
If for whatever reason you don't use it, it just goes
Right.
back into the, it can't get expended on anything else, so.
Isn't this coming out of the real estate account that we've set the money aside for doing this project in the first place?
Yeah, it's coming out of the sale of
Okay.
real estate.
So it wouldn't matter. We'd go
It would
back
have
to the same
go back to
fund.
that account.
Right.
So there was a motion to recommend Article 20.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
All right.
Aye. I'll make a motion to approve Article 21. Recommend Article 21.
Yeah, I'm not that crazy about Article 21. I don't mind the rest of the articles. This one here is restricting signs that, I know the current signs in the town are already grandfathered, that there are several signs now that exist that would not pass this article. And I think it's going to be restrictive to any other development along our commercial areas for future signage, so I can't second that.
Didn't that this was, I think this is referring to one of the signs up at Market Street that seems to glitter or flash in a broad kind of way. It's not merely a sign, it's a whole wall, so to speak.
The shimmering wall.
Right.
Well, this wouldn't, anything up on Market Street now would be grandfathered.
Right. I
Right.
think the planning board wanted to prevent that from happening again.
Well, that
And
might,
seems to make sense. And we are in a more upscale kind of community. That really just doesn't seem appropriate.
yeah, but it has a lot more restrictions than that. Any elements of movement, any elements of movement, I mean, just nothing can move at all. It seems way too restrictive. I would say that would be much too restrictive for any other further development in town or any signage along Route 1 that any new business wants to come in. I think it's,
Even if you had a scaled down sign
Too
like
restrictive.
they have at Jordan's Furniture that just rotates, that, to me, that's movement. That would restrict something like that, which,
Physical or electronic representation of movement, so
right.
yeah.
that would potentially be.
Yeah, I think it's much too restrictive. I would not recommend Article 21.
So it's been moved not to recommend Article 21. I'll second that. All in favor?
All right?
Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
So 2-1, not recommended by the Board of Selectmen.
I would move we recommend Articles 22, 23, and 24.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So there we go.
Seasonal licenses.
Is that Siri talking to you?
Personal.
Excuse me.
Two seasonal golf applications. They've been here before. One for the Sagamore Spring Golf Club, and the other's for the Reedy Meadow.
This is an annual thing, so it's nothing's changed.
No.
I move that we approve the seasonal licenses for both Sagamore and Reedy Meadow golf courses.
I'll second that.
I'll also second that motion. Also, there's never been any issues at either place. I've been at Sagamore many a times. And everybody seems to be drinking very responsibly, so it really doesn't seem to be much of an issue. So certainly I'd second that as well.
So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Signature of the board on the lower right.
So there's an update on Pearly Burl, but I don't know that anyone
Yeah,
has to leave the room because
would-
the answer, the update is,
I would, Selectman Terranova, by the time he got to the door, I'd be done. There is no update from what I gave you last time.
but it is kept on the radar, so.
I check with the building inspector every day before our meeting to see if anything's happened, but there has been no change since the last meeting.
Okay, announcements. I do have one. Tomorrow is the 24th, and it's the last day to register to vote. We have a town election coming up in 3 weeks, and we also have a town meeting coming up in 5 weeks. So if anyone really wants to get out there and vote, tomorrow's the deadline for registering to vote. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention.
I had one while Andrew was here, and you have a copy of it. The governor has released $30 million in reimbursements for pothole repair and paving projects to help us after the winter that we had. Lynnfield's share of that is $61,545. Not a whole lot, but better than nothing, and I'm sure Andrew can find a couple places around town to spend that. So that was unexpected of the administration to release that money for us, and again, anything we can get is good at this point.
I just wanted to thank the Boy Scouts for having me at their Court of Honor. There was 6 new scouts that earned their Eagle rank the other day, and I was able to meet the 6 young men, and I was very impressed with the whole ceremony, and I was able to give them the commendations from the board, and I just wanted to thank them for having me there and appreciate it, and I want to congratulate them. So, thank you.
I'd also like to thank the Boy Scouts and the 6 young men that have become Eagle Scouts. They were a tremendous accomplishment, and I'd like to thank them for having me there as well. The boys are a lot bigger than what they used to be these days. They all seem to be 6'2" and taller. So good for all them. They're good strappy guys, and I'm sure they're going to be fine men and lead on to very successful things in the future. I do have a few other announcements I'd like to make. I'd like to thank Jim Boudreau for posting the new financial data on the town's website. If you go to the Selectmen's page, in that page there's a button and a link for budget reports. And in there, you'll see the February 28, 2015 Town and School Operating Report. In there, you'll see some actual figures as to what we're spending in the town. So if you have some ideas or if you want to see what's going on, that's a great place to start. Also, I've been talking to Jim about possibly getting up on the website the detailed general ledger so people could see the actual detail.
It's a huge file.
Yeah, if we do it month by month, it'll only be maybe 200 pages.
I think it was 800 pages the last time I looked at it, so.
Well, you're here for a couple of years at least, so you can get it done.
I'll put a page at a time, page a day, so I get it. Yeah, we had that discussion 2 weeks ago about some of those things, so we're just gonna put up the, I got a monthly year-to-date report with where we are, and we'll just post those, the PDF. Takes Bob most of the day, but we get it up.
Most of the day.
It's a
We don't
long
have an
process.
automatic scanner?
Oh, the scanning's the easy part, it's posted on the website that takes,
Okay. There were a few things that I wanted to follow up with from before, and that is, the DPW director is here. I hope you're working on some ideas as to how we're gonna pay for all this snow removal.
You got me on that one.
it's not his job, that's
It's not your job?
We're gonna do that next meeting.
Okay.
mine and
Discuss
Julie's.
Snow
All
removal
right,
on
so
the
we'll be
13th.
working on that.
Yeah.
Great. Was there any response from the town's accounting firm to see when they could come in to discuss the,
Yeah, Julie just got back from her conference up at UMass, so I haven't sat down and talked to her about it, but we'll just find out when they're available, and it'll be sometime after town meeting, but we can have them in, and I think, as I told you, Tom, it's about the most boring 30 minutes of your life, but they'll come in and they'll do it. I've had them do it before.
excellent. I know that a lot of other towns always have them come in and discuss it, so at least for those who are interested, they can come in and ask whatever questions they're carrying. Then, of course, keeping on the radar, the three areas that have, that I'm aware of that have flooding issues, the Perry Ave area, the Madison Ave, and Ledge/Canterbury, which you obviously have on your radar. Have we received any update as to what might be happening with the possible location of CVS on the corner of Broadway and Salem Street?
Not since the meeting. We've received nothing from CVS or from the developer or from the owner.
Okay. And as far as the potholes, for everybody out there that wants to call in for that, I'd like to give you the number to our DPW department, because we have a pothole hotline. It's 781-334.
Plow comes and they're gone.
That number is 781-334-9506. And also, Chief Breen left, but we've started some discussions that Lynnfield Youth Football and Cheering is in the process of working on a fundraiser to help raise some money for our police dog, so that the town doesn't have to get bogged down with the financing of the good pooch, so that he can go out there and keep sniffing up whatever he's doing and put the bad guys behind bars. So that's really all I had to say. So I wanted to thank the two directors of that program, Wayne Schaefer and Carrie Ann Elaine, for considering that, and hopefully they'll start working on that sometime soon. So, thank you.
The problem we have now is our canine officer is also our motorcycle officer, so we're trying to figure out whether we should get a sidecar or how we get the dog to ride on the motorcycle.
Well, he looks pretty sleek. He can probably run pretty fast.
Oh,
You talking about the canine officer?
I'm not even touching either one of those.
Okay, use of town facilities. We have a facilities use permit application, and it is from Dennis Bailey over at the Congregational Church, and it's to utilize Newhall Park, the backfield area, April 5th, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and it's for a Easter morning sunrise service. And this is he's done this several years, so this is,
Reverend Bailey has done this back when I was chairman of LRC, so he's been doing this for, at least as far as my recollection, 7, 8 years anyway. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the facility use for Reverend Bailey.
Second that?
moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next one is the approval to light up a tree on the common with blue lights April 2nd through the end of the month of April to honor Autism Awareness Month, which is lighted up blue. And this is something we've done, excuse me, this is the third year we've done this. So this is put on by the Lynnfield Community Connections Group. And I know the DPW has worked with them in the past. There's a tree out by the old meeting house that's got blue lights on it. So that's the one they're talking about lighting up. So this is something, this is the third year, so I think this is for a great cause, so.
I agree, it is a great cause, and they've done a lot to create the awareness within town, so I'd like to move that we approve the lighting of the trees on the common for Autism Awareness Month.
I'd like to second that motion and thank Julie Perrin for organizing this event. This is, tragic disorder, and it's good that people are paying attention and doing what they can to help try to bring an end to it.
So it's been moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next one, request to use the South Lynnfield Post Office Square parking lot to conduct our girls' high school softball fundraiser May 17th, 9 to 2, with the rain date of May 24th, 9 to 2. The fire department has informed me that the space is available, so here again, this is another good cause for the high school girls softball team. And this is not the first time they've done this either, so.
Right, they believe they've done this for years, so it's
Right.
Certainly a good cause. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the use of the South Fire Station for the girls' high school softball team.
It's the Lynnfield South Post Office, but I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Knights of Columbus, they're asking for application for a special alcohol beverage license. The date is April 11th. The hours are between 7 and 11 p.m. It's for a husband's 40th birthday party at their function hall. And I know Chief Breen has signed off, has approved this, so this is something we, approve quite often with the Knights of Columbus.
Yeah, I'll move that we approve the happy husband's 40th birthday party celebration at the Knights of Columbus
Yes.
on the 11th.
I'll second that motion, and Mr. Falzone has been in charge of a lot of these affairs, so I'm sure that this will be another successful event.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, meeting minutes from February 23rd, regular Board of Selectmen meeting. I didn't have any issues with these minutes from my perspective, so.
Nope, I don't have any missing. Any corrections?
Nope, I had no corrections. There'll be some typos, but
Well, I move we accept the minutes of February 23rd.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move that we adjourn.
Second that motion.
Moved and seconded to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Good night, everybody.